another first light angling session and another one on the canal. I've just cast out. I was up naturally at 3:20. That was far too early though at this time of the year to go fishing. I went back to sleep, woke up 3 hours later, and I decided to do some work at home. I've got a home office. Well, all you need these days is a table and a laptop for a lot of the stuff that you do, but I do have a designated spot that I work from at home. Did that, load the car down the canal, breadcrumb and mixed maggots. I'm fishing a boat channel and I've got a size 16 hook, a 4-pound line straight through, fishing with a small lead, and the brolly is up, as you can see, because it's raining now, but we do have heavy bursts from time to time. And as I made my way to the water's edge, I passed a lady who was out for an early walk herself, and she said, "You're not going fishing in this weather?" she said. I said, "I go fishing in all weathers." And that's the key, isn't it? If you want to enjoy your angling, if you want to get the most from it, if you want to get out there as much as you can, you don't let the weather forecast dictate whether you go or not. You might, and I think it's a wise thing to do anyway, you might allow the weather to determine where you go, what species you fish for, what approach you take, what tackle you use. That's wisdom. That's thinking your session through rather than just doing the same thing every day, wherever you are, the same approach. That's a wise thing to do. However, as far as I'm concerned, I do love my fishing. I want to get out as much as I can, within reason. As I've often said, it's a passion and not an obsession. So for me, if I have to put the brolly up, that's okay. I'll still go fishing. And I'm hopeful this morning as well of getting something on the bank. In fact, the next time you see me, I will have a fish to show you. That's confidence, isn't it? First fish of the session is a perch. Not a particularly big one, lively though. However, the first one on the bank means that you're not a blanker, and especially at this time of the year, that's always a big positive, isn't it? And talking of the time of year and being very specific as opposed to general, today, December the 21st, is the shortest day of the year. So from now on, you won't notice it on a daily basis, but from now on, the days start to get longer and the nights shorter. Of course, what we will notice is that in a month's time or 2 months' time, that the time that we can fish from in the morning or to at night, if we're doing daytime fishing like I am at the moment, that will be extended either side of the day. Then of course in March the clocks go forward. I have to think about that one. Then they spring in the spring and fall in the fall. The clocks go forward, and that's when you really notice the days get longer. And then June the 20th, the longest day of the year. But let's not think that far ahead, shall we? Let's stay where we are now and enjoy the winter, because we do have 4 very distinct seasons in the UK. And although days can vary, you can have very mild winter days and quite harsh summer ones, but nevertheless we do have 4 seasons and they're all there to be enjoyed. And as far as your fishing's concerned, it is about, as I've already referred to, targeting the right species with the right tackle, the right bait, the right venues and the right approach. And if we do that, then we'll get some fish on the bank. By the way, I also had a a glove this morning. That was my first catch, a glove. I did catch a pair of pants a while back, or should I say I hooked into a pair of pants. And if you're an American, that's not trousers, that's actually underpants, drawers, the things you pull out of the waterways, especially the canals. Urban canals are the worst. Some of the things you pull out there you wouldn't even want to mention on video. I've cast out again though, a little bit more bait out, and hopefully I'll add more to the tally so far of one single perch. The fish are extremely fickle this morning, and it's just the slightest tap that you have to go for. That's not the inquiry, that's actually the bite. But be very, very much aware and be switched on. Keep your hand on the rod, strike at the slightest movement, and you'll get some fish like this to reward you for your time on the bank. Nice perch. I'm happy enough with that today. A few perch on the bank, some relatively speaking decent fish as well, and especially so when you consider the conditions, not the cold or the rain, but the colour of the canal itself. We have had some heavy rain in the last couple of days, and consequently it's washed the soil into the water, and on this particular stretch it's what I would describe as a deathly grey. And whenever I've come across this before anywhere on the canal, it's always been hard going. So taking that into consideration alone, I'm certainly happy with today's tally of fish on the bank. It's a reminder that whatever the conditions are, just go fishing anyway. And if that's you today or this week, tight lines, and I'll see you soon.